hello, everyone. You got your boys, EJ Brad.
Thank God.
And we are here with another video. We are sitting down with someone who we've been trying to connect with for a while. She's a busy woman. So I want to introduce to you someone who is a mother, a CEO, an author, an award-winning actress, an activist, and so many other things.
Please welcome Miss Keesha Rivers.
Hi. Thank y'all.
Hello there. And welcome to EJ Brad and Kai.
Yes, thank y'all for having me. Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, we have a little history, you know, because I used to work at where you used to live here in Atlanta.
Yes.
You no longer live in Atlanta. So we're going to talk about that too in just a little bit. But tell us about Keesha Rivers' beginnings. You know, where did you start? You know, tell us a little bit about your backstory.
Oh, Lord Jesus. See, I can't say everything because we're going to be here a whole night. But what I will say is, first and foremost, thank you both for the opportunity. I don't take any opportunity lightly. And I feel it is a privilege and an honor when someone invites you to their platform, you know, so thank you first and foremost for that. Yeah.
Well, it's a privilege and honor for you sitting down with us because we understand the importance of everyone's busy schedules, you know, when you're working. And, you know, I thank you for at least doing this for us and for yourself to help each other out. You know, that's what we need more of in society. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because we're all in it together.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. You are so right. So as far as where Keesha Rivers began, Keesha Rivers actually began when I was 8 years old. Everything wasn't peaches and cream. You know, I'm very blessed and honored to be in this season. And this season still has trials and tribulations. But Keesha Rivers began about 8 years old. And I found that I was adopted. My aunt and my uncle raised me. And my birth mother, I love her so much. We're very close. But one of her maternal older sisters raised me. And it was a situation where she had no control over. She did what was best for her at the time and me at the time. And I thank her for that. You know, years later, I thank her for that. But during that period when I was adopted, my father, he was pastor and he's still pastor to this day. My mother, she is 30 years retired nurse, and then the vice president of the Nurses Association at a hospital back home, a nationwide hospital. But anyway, they were never home because their schedules were really busy. So therefore, that left room for the enemy to try to destroy what God has spoken of, you know. So with that, I was molested by close family members. I was also raped a couple of times, and the first time it happened with someone that I knew from school. And just going on from the path, I was a single mother, teenage mom at that, but you know, I didn't have a choice. And then also I was bullied a lot in school. I was bullied, and I was verbally, mentally, and physically abused in almost every relationship with, I would say maybe not two. And that was, one of them was who I named my son after because he was there throughout the whole pregnancy. He's not my son's biological father, but he was still there. So I always wanted that to be a memorable moment throughout my journey and throughout my son's journey. So it was very special to me. And then also my son's father never did that. So with that being said, that is where Keesha Rivers actually began, because I cannot tell my glory without my story. It just wouldn't be possible. So with all of that, you guys, I knew I was still talented. And let me tell you how good God is, because I wanted to be at school so much because I dread just being home and being in that environment. And, you know, it wasn't always bad. Mama and daddy, they did the best they could, you know, but they had to work. So they weren't home a lot. But the more I was at school, the more I began to know that I was talented. Singing, step club, drum major. I'm legendary back home for being the drum major, African-American, the youngest in the county, doing my thing. And they know me from doing the split on the field with my salute. So everybody know me back home as being the drum major, the legendary one. Cheerleading, just all types of stuff, gospel choir director, all types of stuff. But anyway, I found peace in all of that. So God used me in a younger era where I didn't even know all that was working together for my good, because the older I got, trials and tribulations I went through, I still knew there was purpose. I still knew that God still had purpose in my life for me. So I never gave up. I took my son to choir rehearsal with me. I remember him having his very first basketball game. And I had to go to Key West to sing with this national gospel choir that I was involved in at the time. And I couldn't go because I had to be there for my son. But regardless of what, and I'm glad I was there because my baby scored 17 points his first game.
That was an amazing thing.
Yes. So regardless of what, God still had his hand on me. And I knew that. You know how we know something and we just be running. We don't want to obey. We just do what we want to do. So that was the process that I was in, and the timing that I was in. But God allowed all of that to work together for my good, because once I said enough is enough, I was 30 years old and I wanted to have my own. I've tried 9-to-5s. I've worked, and I do good working for people. I do good. Some of the times I'm their top employee, all of that. But I knew I wanted more. So I left my little small town where I'm from, moved to Orlando, moved there. I think I was there maybe 14, 15 years, bought a house at 22, 23 years old. Wow. I wanted my son to have a house, but I just got tired of being there. I said, nothing's wrong with the city, but I felt like I was just going in circles, not knowing that everything that happened to me from 8 until my teenage, until Orlando, was leading me to Atlanta, where I met you. So in Atlanta, I had already had my business established, but I was on the low with that. Because, when people find out who you are and what you do, they gravitate to that. They forget about you, and the fleshly, the human side, they forget you. They just want to attach and be an opportunist. So I said, no, let me just lay low or whatever. But we did our shows. I worked for a nationwide insurance company for about 6 years. I went to Atlanta and got my master's degree. I started in Orlando with my bachelor's for psychology, moved on to my master's for business administration, completed that, and honor student the entire time. And I just knew it was time for me to go. Just like I knew in Orlando, I was going in circles in Atlanta, selling out shows. Every award that I was up for, I won. Then other companies started recognizing Keesha Rivers and what she's doing. My uncle nicknamed me Miss Hollywood when I was little. And I didn't take that serious. I'm like, but he nicknamed me Miss Hollywood because I would show up late to the cookouts, but I would be dressed in GQ, all of that. Not knowing that when we really speak something, it comes into existence.
Yes.
So when I got so sick of Atlanta, not really sick of Atlanta, because I will go, you let Tyler Perry call me, I'm gonna go right there and get them coins. Okay.
I know that's right.
I knew that I wanted more. I desired more. So I said, if I did not do this now, it'll never be done. So I asked my son, could I move to California? Because I only have one child. He has 2 kids. And I'm like, okay, I need to be here for him. He's all like, I'm all he has. He told me, he said, well, the first time he told me no, it was too far. But I waited a couple of years later. He said, Ma, you need to go. Because if you don't go now, you're never going to go. I know you. You're going to be right here helping my kids, this and that. Right. He said, you need to go. I would never tell you not to go. You've raised me. You've done the best you could. You need to go. Yeah. And you guys, when I tell y'all, that was the absolute best decision that I have made on the Keesha Rivers I Am Flavor journey. It is amazing because it's not just about your talents. We can be so filled with all these talents, but if we're hurting and if we're not healed inside, if we haven't healed, that's in vain. We have on a mask. This journey has led me with no distractions. I can hear clearer now from God. I can make better decisions now. And I'm taking the people that were with me throughout my process on my journey with me. There's no way I can't do that. People have sown into me, the organization. I'm celebrating my birthday all month and I'm still getting gifts. Somebody paid for a massage the end of this month for me.
Wow.
Somebody's doing another program. I haven't announced that yet because I honor you guys. Somebody's doing a sewing program for me that
Wow.
has never been done, you know. So to answer your question, that is the story of Miss Keesha Rivers and what's behind Miss Keesha Rivers. And there's so much more to come. I'm excited.
Inspiring story. It
Yes.
really is, because and it's funny when you said about, keeping things on the low when you were in Atlanta, because, I really didn't know what you did exactly. I was a concierge, you were a resident there, but I didn't really know exactly. I just know that you were going to work and you were coming home. And,
Right.
I to me that, I usually don't even stop at the concierge desk, but it's just something about you. You kept saying something about you. You
Yep.
always said, I appreciate that when I'm coming home, and, because, I'm always like, welcome back. How was your day? Type of thing.
Yes.
That's because
Yes.
I not even knowing exactly who you were, but the fact that you are a resident there. Do you know what I mean? That I think, because that was my job,
Right.
to treat everybody like they're at home. So,
Right.
so it's so funny you said that. That brought me to that point. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Spirit. That's why I had to keep in contact with you.
And
So-
I'm going to tell you, there's something so unique about you. And I knew it. I absolutely knew it. And one thing about a person that has been broken and have been scarred so many times, repetitious over and over and over, you recognize red flags and triggers and things like that.
Exactly.
And with me, I love hard. So when I love hard, I hurt hard. But when I like a person, I gravitate to them and I start to watch them, help them out, do whatever I can for them. That's just me. But when I first met you, you were so polite. I'm like, where in the heck did he come from? Like, this is what we need every day. So you made where I resided so pleasant. And you never know what someone's going through, because you didn't know what I was dealing with. I was dealing with a lot of stuff around that time.
Didn't even know.
Never even knew. Even knew. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing that story. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
So what inspired you to start exploring acting?
My 5th grade teacher, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, she still follows me. She's come to my stage plays. She's been to just different things I've had in the community. But I would have to give Miss Mary Keating the credit for that, because she was the first person that discovered I could sing at 8 years old. But then 5th grade, we had a stage play. So I was casted as, well, I wasn't even cast. I didn't even try out. She told me that I was going to be the rapper in the play. I'm like, I don't even rap. You know what? But I went home, y'all. I rehearsed that rap and I did that. And I still know that rap to this day. Okay.
Really?
So after that, and getting the crowd's reaction, I said, okay, I like it. And it made me feel like I was important. It made me feel like I was someone, because I was dealing with so much as a child. It made me feel like I belonged and I fit in. Yeah.
Right. Wow. So how did you get started or involved with Tyler Perry?
I got involved with Tyler Perry because people in the industry were telling me that, just we need to work with him, and you fit right in with, what's going on and all that. So I started applying. I started doing my research. I started applying. And for me, you guys, I'm not big on a name. I've worked with so many celebrities under the sun. You wouldn't believe, the stuff that I've gone through. Would say, just the industry period, not just me, but just the industry period. Yeah. They are human just like us. So they're not always nice, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
But I always admired Mr. Perry because of his story. We all know his story. So with that being said, I did my own research and I started applying for different positions as far as casting with Mr. Perry. And I've had the pleasure of being an inmate in one of his shows, Nobody's Fool. I've done If Loving You Is Wrong. I was a nurse, a supporting nurse. So there's just different things that I've done with Mr. Perry in the background scenery, nothing like lead role or anything like that, But I've just had the pleasure of working with him, and you never know one day if you will see me in a lead role with Mr. Perry. So yeah, that's what started it all. He's a very nice man. At our filmings, he prays with us. When we all have time to eat, when it's chow time, he eats with us. We eat the same thing. The crew eats, and on some sets, they'll separate the background versus the main stars or whatever. But Mr. Perry's thing is everybody's actors. Everybody belongs. We may not have the same pay differential, but everybody is an actor, and he's going to treat us the same. And that's what he did each time. Yeah.
That's really good. Yeah. And that's his spirit though. You know,
yes.
Heard that before from some other people as well.
Yes.
That's really good.
So tell us about the selling book and where can people find them?
Oh, my books. Yes. My books are all autobiographies, which means they're based on my life, my real life. So my first book is Mama, They Didn't Mean It. And I wrote that from the beginning stage. And the very first chapter talks about me being molested, that journey. And then it goes on with the adoption and things like that, the things I've dealt with in school. But anyway, Mama, They Didn't Mean It. You can find it on Barnes & Noble and Amazon. Barnes & Noble is not in the store. You can order it on the website and pick it up at the store.
Okay.
And Amazon, of course, is online. Now, The Scars Behind the Makeup, which is my second book that talks about just the toxicity and the different relationships that I've encountered, whether it was business, family, friendships, relationships. And you can get that on Amazon as well. And then my last book, Surviving Layers of a Rebound, that talks about when you're in situations with relationships, business-ships, but they really are using you for a rebound.
Yes.
Yes.
Or to save space for that other person. But while they're waiting on that real person, they're just using you for space to take up space. So
wow.
You can also find that book on Amazon.com as well. They're all best-selling rank. They've been that way a couple of months after they're released. And I'm currently working on my fourth book. I just have not announced that yet. I like to really announce things when it's really like okay, Keesha, you've sealed the deal. Let's go.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes,
Thank you.
awesome. See,
Thank
you are
you.
doing so many things. You inspire us, actually.
Oh, thank you.
Because it is all about other streams of income and, you know, spreading yourself out with many talents. Yeah. And
Right.
it's living proof right here that this is what you can do. So you're inspiring us. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank y'all so much.
You're welcome. I'm sorry, I lost where I was. Okay. Now, who or what inspires you?
My son inspires me, and my grandchildren. Like I said, I have two grandsons. My son inspires me because he dealt with so much with me, trying to find myself. And I was really angry, not at my son being born, but I was just in a transition when he was born. I had to grow up. I had to grow up because he was all I had, even though the Lord blessed us with a village to help me raise him, my parents, some close friends, we have a village, my son dealt with a lot with me, with my anger issues, coming home from work. Sometimes I worked two jobs just, to make ends meet. Sometimes I wouldn't be so nice. He'd need homework. I wouldn't be available, things like that, because I'd be too tired.
Right.
And then also my grandchildren, because that is my legacy. I'm not doing this just for me. Even though, yes, I get gratification out of being able to heal and move forward in my purpose, but I'm leaving my legacy. And I think about Dr. King with his legacy, and I've had the honors of meeting all of his children. That's his legacy, So it is very important to me to leave my legacy. Yeah.
Well, you're definitely leaving a great legacy.
Thank you.
Yes, I think so, and I hope that people can take from this interview, everything that you've done, and hope that it inspires others. That's that's the main reason too, for what we, to inspire people.
Yes, because at the end of the day, you guys, we have to remember that it's really, our testimony is really not about us. And I would hear that coming up, oh, it's not about you, it's about helping somebody else. But when you really, really understand that, your purpose, you're going to meet somebody down the road where it's definitely not about you, but you'll have that experience to where you can actually minister to them and show them and be a life coach for them. Because now with Flavor Production, that's all we do is mentor. The leaders that started with me 15 years ago, when that was created, they're bosses. They're mentoring other people from what they've encapsulated and learned from Flavor. And to see that grow and elevate in them, that says to me, that's what it's about. That's exactly what it's about.
That's good. And you have, what, how many businesses do you have?
Oh, Jesus. That's a good question. I never thought about that. The writing, Flavor. Then we have the DNA, where we help families find their DNA research. We do that.
Really?
Yes. And then KR Consulting. I do consult small businesses, not just to start a business, but how to maintain your business. So I would say four or five. Mm-hmm. And I pay taxes on them too.
We have to do that,
Yes. Yes.
Any future projects you can share with us?
Future projects I can share would be, well, I just mentioned my 4th book. And that's going to be talking about the healing journey, because now I'm in my journey of healing and it feels so good. But it's just a big explanation of why healing is so important, and people don't understand that. They're just like, oh, I'm over him, I'm over her, or that job didn't work out, oh well. But the process and the elevation that comes through your healing is not just about the outside. It's definitely purging from the inside. And it's a whole process with that, mental and everything. But anyway, so my 4th book is coming out. I have the sewing online that's going to take place on the 26th on TikTok. That's very important to me because I've never had that done before to me. And it's not so much about how much money is going to be raised for me. It's just the thought of somebody just taking the time to say, you know what, I want to sew into her. For whatever reason,
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, and that's so special to me. When that person told me, I just cried. The flyer is going to be posted tonight, so you guys look out for that.
Yes.
Yes, and then I have Judicial Court TV with a certain judge. I can't name right now until it comes out, but I was casted as a litigant for that. So that was amazing. That was an amazing experience. So that is coming out. You'll see that's speaking roles. And then I have 2 or 3 movies that I were involved in with feature roles with that. So yeah, so that would be, one is with Adam Rodriguez, I want to say. He was the guy from I Can Do Bad All By Myself.
Oh, yes.
With Taraji.
Yes.
And then I have, excuse me, I'm sorry. I have another movie coming out on BET. I have some feature roles, and that's with Erica Peebles. It's a holiday movie. Yes, that's coming out. So just different projects that I'm working on. Not so much with Keesha Rivers per se, but here in Hollywood. And then also with Keesha Rivers, we have coming that I can speak on is our next stage play. And that will be November 11th in Florida, back in my home state. And we're taking Mama They Didn't Mean It from my first book there, because last year we did The Scars Behind the Makeup, which is my second book, but it has to make sense, my story. So we have to go in chronological order. So the crowd from the surveys, they wanted us to come back with Mama They Didn't Mean It, the first one. So that is all I think that I can speak on right now with upcoming projects. There's so much more that I'm doing, but as far as speaking, that's what I can speak on right now.
Well, you are doing your thing.
Thank you.
It is like, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. It keeps you busy, and that's,
yes, it does. It does.
But that's so important. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be busy,
Thank you. Yes.
When you worry.
Right.
So also I wanted to talk about your humanitarian efforts. Can you share a little bit of what you've done, on the humanitarian side? Because I know that you've done a lot in that area as well.
Yes. So as far as the humanitarian side, and this is like my passion, my baby, because it's a part of my testimony. When I was in a certain abusive relationship when my son was little, I stayed in my car for just a little while. So I experienced being homeless, not so much as not having anywhere to go because it was my choice, but I did it out of because embarrassment to my father and my mother. I didn't want the community, because of their high standards and they're highly respected back home. I didn't want the community to know what was going on with their daughter, so it could be like my fault, or make them look shame or bad. But anyway, so with saying that, I do a lot of humanitarian work with the homeless population here in Hollywood. As far as I will order grocery, and they need water. A lot of people forget they have to stay hydrated like us. So people forget the water. So I would just go drop it on the curb, give them what I would eat, not just straps, what I would eat. Clothes. I've stopped giving my clothes to certain organizations. Well, this last time I did donate to a certain outreach here, but majority of my humanitarian work has been even the clothes off me and my son's back to the homeless population. And then also in Orlando, we were very consistent with women and children. There's a shelter there, and we would work there. We would read to the kids. We would take them clothes. We would set up a vendor sometimes and collect items for the women and children at that shelter in Orlando. So I would say more so the outreach of the humanitarian area would be the homeless population. Yeah.
So I can really relate to that. That is something that I said, as we start to build our brand, that is something that really would like to touch on is the homeless population. Yeah. And not just so much of the shelter and food. Of course, they do need those things, but the education, the psyche, learning about these individuals who had lives that were important lives, a lot of them that may have been CEOs, worked wives, families, and people don't know their story,
Right. And that's my thing. And that's my thing. Because we can't say, why they're homeless. We can't say, oh, they're alcoholics, they deserve it. We don't know. And like you said, CEOs, a lot of veterans, believe it or not, they're homeless.
Yes.
They have absolutely nowhere to go. And I'm like, how could you be homeless and you're a veteran? They don't take care of everything like people think they do. But our job as a humanitarian, as a good citizen of the United States, as a child of God, our duty is to make sure our brother is kept, or our sister is kept. So I'm going to stand on that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. What we have next?
So what is one thing that you would like to do?
One thing that I would like to do, I would like to raise enough money to take care of the people that have taken care of me on my journey. That just, it hurts my heart when I can't do that. Because a lot of the people that are still with me, my 20 plus leaders we have, and then we have a volunteer team, but I have about 20 to 25 leaders, and majority of those leaders are grandfathered in from the 15 years that we've started. And with that, they didn't ask for a dime. Sometimes I would offer, they would not take it. I've even offered, I've even sent, and they'll send it back. So I would like to do something so huge for them where they're lacking anonymously, and it will come from me. Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yes, it is.
I have two more things to ask you. So the one thing I want to know is, what does Keesha do for fun? Something that you do, because I know you stay busy a lot, but what do you do that you find time for yourself that you feel like, I needed this?
Okay, so I'm from the South. Yes, I'm in Hollywood and all that, but we eat good in the South. Okay. Right. So because I live a pescatarian life, I cut out my meat for like 5 or 6 years, but I like to eat good. So what I'll do is I will get me some nice seafood and some red potatoes, some corn, and just relax and watch me something nice that I haven't seen in a long time, like an old African-American movie, Boys in the Hood, Friday, something that reminds me of just who I am and what I stand for and just my roots, you know.
Mhm.
Other than that, I love self-care. The more I'm healing on my journey, I'm learning there's a difference between self-love and self-care.
Yes.
So I'm trying to maintain myself more behind the wigs, behind the nail polish, behind all the makeup and all that. I am trying more to self-care myself. So I would, like the other day, I went and got my hair treated.
Okay.
She cut off about 2 inches of my hair. And when I saw it on the ground, I'm like, but the Holy Spirit revealed to me and said, in order to grow, you got to let that go.
Yeah.
Because those split ends were holding up the process. So I said, okay, I'm going to stay on this journey. I love this. Like at the end of the month, I'm going for my massage. I haven't had a massage in over 2 years, a professional massage in over 2 years. So things like that. Yeah. See, yeah. Things like that. Just trying to take care of myself better.
Pedicures. I'm sorry. I made a mistake and said manicures. I meant to say manicure, manis and patties. That's the
Yes.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I love my pedicure now. I love me a good pedicure.
Yeah. My feet
Yeah.
too. Let's just say that. I'm going to put it lightly.
Yes. And you know, another thing, that's the beauty of living in California, because even though the seasons change, everything is still here. Like I can get up right now and go to the fair. The fair is here 24 hours, well, not 24, 365 days a year. That's what I want to say.
Wow.
Big Bear, even if it doesn't snow in the south, because I'm in Southern Cali, up north is the snow. I can go to Big Bear and have a snow day. The beaches are always open. Like it's so much to do here for Keesha Rivers to engage in when she wants her self-care.
Yeah. We thought about moving to the West Coast. Actually, we've been, maybe to the like Nevada area. Yeah, we've been.
Okay,
thinking.
yeah, okay. I have friends over in Vegas. Yeah.
We're Vegas heads. We're Vegas addicts. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. I know that. I forgot about that. I know. I see that on the post.
Yeah. It's like,
yeah.
It really is. We've been thinking about it a lot, like in the next 3 to 4 years. After we build up more. Yeah, definitely.
And that's what took me a while to move here, because I had a plan for like 5 years. My son told me no the first time. I saved. I did what I needed to do. And when I felt it was right, I asked him again. And that's when I knew it was time to go. But I saved. So that's a good plan for the next couple of years. Yeah.
Okay. My last question is, what would you tell someone who's trying to get into the business? What advice would you give them?
To be themselves. There's enough out here for everybody to be themselves, because being yourself will put you in the room. The only thing you got to do is just get in there, and people invite you that you least expect when you are yourself. Like with me, I'm country. That's not changing. I love my bare feet. That show not changing unless I'm in a fashion show or something like that. I talk kind of a little geeky every now and then, but I know how to turn it back on, turn it off. But just be yourself. That's what I would tell them. And if you don't know who you are, because we have a lot of people, like with me, I'm in my early 40s, but I am learning who I am now, because I'm healing now. So I can be myself.
Yes.
I can be myself. But that is the advice I would give someone that's pursuing the industry. Be yourself, because somebody is wanting just how you are. They're looking for you. Yep.
That uniqueness, that raw talent, that raw.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Wow. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with us. We really appreciate this opportunity. Like I said, I never imagined that we would be sitting here doing this with you, to be honest.
Really?
Because I'm a person that don't, like, I do ask for things sometimes, but I'm careful because I don't want people to think that I'm just trying to do something for ourselves. You know what I mean? Because it's not like that. I've always wanted to sit down and talk to you anyway, but this is a good way to do it and discuss some of the things that I've always wanted to know about you, and share the people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was the main reason for it. So
You know what? I'm so happy that you decided to go forth with that, because I get that a lot. People they're not, I'm not gonna say scared, but I get the I don't want to say intimidation, but I just get that. And it's after the fact they'll go, well, I wanted to, or I this or that. Why didn't you?
right.
And I'm such a homegirl, y'all. Yes, I do. I've won things on game shows. I've been on The Price is Right. I've been on Wheel of Fortune, and I just won something on Let's Make a Deal.
Oh wow.
Did movies here. I won different awards here at the Hollywood Festival with my first appearance here, lead role, modeling for Access Hollywood.
I saw that.
Just doing all types of stuff here. But I said that to say, and I'm missing out a whole lot, but it's okay. I said that to say I'm still Keesha Rivers at the end of the day. And I don't ever want to forget. I never want to forget. So
That's right.
Yes, I'm approachable.
And and you know what? And I kind of felt that, but it's just like, you just never know. And so it was a doubt, but I guess I shouldn't second guess myself or doubt too much to go for it, because even if someone says no, then that, it doesn't mean it's forever. That's how I look at it.
Exactly. No does not mean forever. Delayed. It could be delayed, but not denied. It can be denied right now, but it may be delayed,
Amen.
And you know what I'm learning? Just because it's a no, that may be God's protection. Because you may think a person is a certain way, but that door is closed for a reason.
For a reason. Mm-hmm. Everything happens for a reason. That's
exactly.
The thing. Remember, yes. Good, bad, or indifferent. Everything happens for a reason.
That's right.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. We love you so much.
Nice to meet you.
Thank y'all for having me.
Absolutely. And you take care of yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Miss Keesha Rivers. Make sure you check out everything. Go on social media to her website. And also you can check out her different businesses. Her biography is amazing on her website. Go to Amazon. Go to Barnes and Nobles. Check out those books. And look out for more interesting things from all of us. Okay? We're going to end it that way. And we love you. And as always, we're going to see you on the what time?
Next video, y'all.
That's right. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.